Does God exist? Why, certainly he does. But there are many critiques saying that he doesn't exist. So in this YouTube video, I'm going to be using a number of different subjects that is beyond that of just theology to prove that God does in fact exist. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Let's get started. Alright, so step one, we're going to explain it through math. That's right, otherwise known as the universal language, or the language of the universe. Why? Because math is literally what the universe operates under. It operates under precise mathematical laws. Otherwise, we call them the laws of the universe, and inside of these laws, we have the laws of gravity, thermodynamics, anything that makes the universe, we can explain it through mathematics. And yeah, these laws were discovered by man, but one thing we have to note is that they are so elegantly designed that it is beyond our human capability. And to even like create them or to understand them exactly, so and they are just so fine-tuned, as in they just work. And what's so crazy about this is that these expressions and these mathematical concepts, they're so elegantly designed that it points to a designer, and that designer is ultimately all intelligent because it explains the universe, right? And ultimately that designer is God, of course. Let's dig a little bit deeper into these more beautiful expressions that I'm talking about. I'm going to put them on the screen right now, but these mathematical equations describe the universe are often simple and elegant. For example, let's look at Einstein's E equals mc squared. Literally, that is such an important expression, whether you are a theologian or not. But the aesthetic appeal of these equations can be seen as a purposeful creator. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's so I keep saying the word elegantly, but it's so elegantly designed, and it's just so beautifully orchestrated that it kind of just points to it's a design. It looks like a design. It looks like a piece of art as well, but it's so abstract that we can't even comprehend it. And we could just spend hours and hours, days and days, years and years thinking about these concepts, but ultimately they point to an all intelligent mind. All right. Let's dive a little bit back. So let's think about what math is exactly. Math is the study of numbers. It's adding numbers. And what do these numbers do? Well, if you mix them up together, then you can create color codes. You can create so many things from math. I like to use the analogy of computers. If we were to look at computers, they just read everything in ones and zeros. That's why a programmer codes in a certain language, and the computer translate that back to ones and zeros for it to understand. So literally, your computer runs off math. Whether you're listening to this on a computer screen, a TV screen, or a telephone, your computer is doing math. And one thing about math that is interesting is that it's only in our mind, because we can't see math, we can't taste math, we really can't hear math, but it's in our mind, but we know that it works. We know that it's true. So therefore, that kind of points to something in math. Math must be all powerful because it is kind of supernatural. We can't see it, we can't taste it, we can't feel it, we can't hear it, but it's powerful enough that we know that it's true, even though it only exists in our mind. What's something that's also powerful that kind of exists in our heart and that we really can't see, taste, feel inside of our universe? That's God. One also important thing is that I like to describe is using the computer programmer analogy, is that if we were to look at code, there has to be a software engineer / programmer that is typing this code onto the computer that ultimately makes this computer run, or that makes the computer do that certain program. And one thing about that is DNA. I want to shift the focus back to science, as a matter of fact. And one thing about DNA is that it's so beautifully orchestrated, is that it makes you. Not only is in an incredible shape, I believe it's a hologram. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but what I'm saying is that DNA, if you were to stretch it out, you get a bunch of numbers. Those numbers correlate to math because math is the study of numbers, and that all those numbers make you, you. And if we were to use the computer program analogy, which may be a little bit weak here, but that means that those numbers didn't just write themselves. Like, it's even scientists kind of are in a limbo, like, oh, how do these numbers just appear that create you? There's only you in the world. And so if we were to think about it, there has to be something that made those numbers. Those numbers didn't just appear. Science can't really explain why those numbers did just appear. Science explains many things inside of the universe, but it can't explain the supernatural. That's kind of what math is for. And who designed math? That's God. So therefore, that's why God could be like the designer of that DNA, of that beautiful shape that's so simple yet so complex that we can't wrap our head around it. And to end off this video, if we were to look at an atheistic point of view where the universe just began to exist, we could look at the Kalam cosmological argument. And what that argument is that everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe, so therefore the universe just began to exist. Therefore the universe has a cause. So if we were to look at this argument, the universe has a cause. And so what is that cause? It's the all-knowing, the all-powerful, the creator who designs its laws so perfectly that there is no other explanation for the story of creation. But that is if we're looking at it from that point of view. And we know that the story of creation does exist. It's inside Genesis chapter 1. Thank you so much for watching today's video. It was rather fast-paced. I will try to do a more simpler version, breaking down these concepts even more. So if that's something you're interested in looking into, please leave your comments section down below. Please hit that subscribe button and like button. Please share this video with your friends and family. And if you have any suggestions for the channel, please leave that in the comments down below as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye now.